I can definitely attain this. That's number one. It's almost like I almost feel like I don't have to say it, but I know that I do, because there are people that don't actually believe that. Don't you want to surpass the plateau? Don't you want to actually see the results? Like, aren't you tired of the same things over and over? And so something has to give. So you're ready to grow your natural hair to waist length. You have come to the right place. Welcome in, come in and get cozy. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what you need to be doing now in order to actually start seeing results and to actually start seeing your natural hair finally flourish, especially within this coming year. Whether you're someone who has been stuck at the same length for so many years, or you've been natural for so long and you still don't have a full grasp on how to really maintain your hair or retain the length or get it to the level of health that you want, sit tight, because I'm going to be diving in. Before I dive in, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on another video like this. You'll want to stick around for the following videos in this series. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a video like this, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be splitting this video up into two different parts. We're going to talk about the things that you're going to want to start and stop doing externally and internally. We need to cover all bases. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start with external. When we're talking about achieving waist length hair, just as a disclaimer and rule of thumb, when I'm talking about waist length hair, I'm talking about 100% healthy, full cuticle from root to tip, no see-through ends, just truly healthy, hydrated, natural waist length hair. This is exactly what I'm referring to for this video, okay? We don't just want to achieve length, we want length and health. The first thing that I want to mention when it comes to the external portion of this video is going to be, if you're really wanting to retain length, if you're really wanting to start seeing real results by next year, the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to have to let go of the damaging hairstyles. This is going to include many of the protective styles that perhaps you are used to or accustomed to wearing. You're going to have to let the damaging styles completely go. So what do I mean by damaging hairstyles? Let's go down the list of a few of them. So damaging hairstyles are styles that require or include high tension, high or direct heat, styles that are too heavy. This is going to go under high tension, styles that constantly pull the hair back tightly. These kinds of damaging hairstyles are just not going to be ideal. And so the specific kinds of hairstyles that wreak havoc on the hair and just give folks such a major setback, they're going to be, but are not limited to, any style that includes synthetic braiding hair. Now, I've talked about this in a few other videos, but if you are unfamiliar, synthetic braiding hair, it just wreaks havoc. Synthetic braiding hair is not what folks want it to be. It doesn't do any protecting. Synthetic braiding hair just causes a lot of wear and tear along the hair shaft. It weathers away at the cuticle layer. It really causes the hair to become very dry and brittle over time, and ultimately causing a lot of breakage. Now, the thing about wearing synthetic braiding hair, it's not that your hair will stop growing. It's just that the integrity of your hair will just not be at its best. And you'll find that over time, the hair cuticle does start to weather away. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is just let go. Let go of the synthetic braiding hair. And if styles that require synthetic braiding hair is something that you're super accustomed to and you just love wearing them or you always wear them, I can totally understand how like the thought of letting them go is kind of like an inconvenience, perhaps, especially if it's something that if it's your go-to, like I totally understand. I too used to wear braids with synthetic braiding hair, like so many of us. And also the recent data that has come up, if you're unfamiliar, there has been recent data that has come up about synthetic braiding hair and the fact that it is linked to cancer. So that's also something to consider when it comes to synthetic braiding hair. So all in all, I totally get it. It can be an inconvenient thing if it's your go-to, but it'll be okay. Like truly, it'll be okay. And after a while, you're going to be like, oh, wow, like I don't even miss it because your hair is going to be so healthy and long that it's not even going to matter. So That's number one. Okay. Synthetic braiding hairstyles have to go. The next thing when it comes to the external portion, styles that have your hair put away for way too long, you're going to have to let those kinds of styles go too. That really is just the ideal and the concept that we have to put our hair away for long periods of time in order to see it flourish. And that's just simply not the case. Those aren't the kind of practices that you want to carry into this coming year with wanting to retain length. The key with overall healthy hair is maintaining the elasticity in the hair and the hydration levels overall. Super dry brittle hair, when you go to style it, it doesn't perform well. It doesn't look its best. It also starts to become weathered over time. And that's when you start to see like the see-through ends. You want to wear styles that allow you consistent access for hydration. And so natural hairstyles, of course, are going to be ideal. Twist outs, braid outs, rod sets, wash and goes. These are going to be great. Easy access for hydration, moisturizing and sealing throughout the week, deep conditioning at the end of every week or at the end of every 2 weeks. These kinds of styles are definitely going to be ideal. There are some protective styles that do still allow for easy access to hydration. And I have mentioned this before. Those styles are going to be styles like natural twist. That's what I call them. I call them natural twists. I'll show you an example. That's a great example because you do still have access to hydration to moisturize and seal. You can technically, still get in the shower and wet it and or wash it if you choose to. Wear them with your own natural hair is of course going to be ideal. Now, if you are constantly wearing styles that pull your hair back, really tight buns, ponytails, puffs, half up, half downs, you're going to want to limit how often you're pulling your hair back. You don't want those kinds of styles to be your primary style. You want your primary style to be a style where your hair is kind of free flowing and not bound with any hair ties or anything. Now, if you are pulling your hair back, one, you want it to not be so frequent, and two, you want it to be super low tension. So, for example, right now my hair is in a high puff. It is held up with a silk scrunchie and it's not wrapped around. It's literally just cupping my hair. Little to absolutely no tension whatsoever. You're definitely going to want to swap out your elastic scrunchies for silk. That's just another thing to definitely consider when it comes to external. Now, let's go on to the internal. So, I'm sure that you know that when we're talking about healthy hair care, we're talking about healthy waist length hair or just like healthy in general. A lot of this is going to have to do with what you're doing internally. You could really be doing all of the things externally. You could be using the best products. You could be oiling your scalp all the time. You could be doing all of the things externally. But if you haven't really assessed what's going on internally and gotten that to its peak potential, then everything you're doing externally isn't going to be optimal. It's not going to be at its best. But I will say that you definitely want what you're doing internally to be the foundation. So let's talk about it. When we're thinking about waist length, healthy hair, right? The first thing I'm going to mention in terms of internal is mindset. So, and like, hear me out. Because yes, we're talking about hair, but like anything that you want to grow healthily at that, a lot of that is going to have to do with a certain level of a healthy mindset. The first thing is you want to definitely adapt the mentality that you 100% can grow long, beautiful, healthy, hydrated, natural hair. So that's the first thing. You want to make sure that your mind agrees. I have to say this because I've seen on social media folks literally say things like, oh, well, not everybody can have long hair. And, oh, like having long hair is genetic. The truth is, genetics do play a role in the rate at which your hair will grow. And genetics play a role in your actual texture, the thickness and diameter of your individual strands. Like that's just something that you're born with, like it's going to grow out of your scalp no matter what. But if you are taking really great care of your hair and you have a healthy functioning body, you definitely can grow your hair to long lengths. It's a matter of retaining what grows. So the first thing out of the gate is just adapting the mentality that yes, I can definitely attain this. That's number one. It's almost like I almost feel like I don't have to say it, but I know that I do because there are people that don't actually believe that. And I'm telling you, even from a professional standpoint, that you definitely can. It's going to have to do with retaining what grows. Another aspect of mindset that I definitely want to touch on is going to be letting go of any negative ideals surrounding your hair. I know that what holds folks back from really sticking to a healthy routine, like just not relying so heavily on styles that just put their hair away for so long, or just relying so heavily on things like wigs and extensions and things like that. Not to say that those are terrible, but when you've gotten to a point where you rely so heavily on them and you don't find comfort in wearing your natural hair and just letting it be, there's a certain level of needing to just let go of any negative ideals surrounding your hair. So this could include, but isn't limited to, the thought that natural hair is too much work. Natural hair is not too much work. Maintaining, taking care of, and growing naturally textured hair is easy. So that's one. The only thing that makes it not easy for folks is when we try so hard to do everything to it that it's not. When you work with the hair, you start to really see results. The less you force the hair to be something that it truly just doesn't want to be, the more ease you'll find in your routine. Some other negative ideals surrounding textured hair could be that natural hair is childish. We have to let these things go, because wearing your naturally textured hair is not childish. It's not. This is how we were made. Embracing your naturally textured hair for what it is and wearing it in certain styles like rod sets or twist outs, it's not childish. It's not. These type of ideals we have to let go of, because they're simply just not true. And the more we start to just wear our hair, let it be, and really embrace it for what it is, the less you'll believe those things. And there's a vast majority of us who don't actually believe those things, but I am saying this because I know that there are folks out there who do. Another aspect of internal that definitely you're going to want to lock in with, especially for this coming year, if you're serious about growing and retaining longer hair, is going to have to do with your nutrition and your stress levels. Let's talk about nutrition. So people are kind of lax with this aspect. Nutrition, it really is the key. And it's not to say that like, oh, your diet has to be so perfect. This is what I tell clients who come in. Folks who have damaged hair, I can always tell when it's damage from something that's done from the outside or something that's happening on the inside. I can always tell the difference. So some of the things that I have noticed that do take a toll on the health of the hair is definitely low vitamin D, low iron. If you believe that you're low in those things, you definitely want to focus on bringing those levels back up to normal, because they do contribute to just the look and feel of your hair for sure. I've seen it so often with certain clients who struggle with that. You want to definitely in general make sure that you have a pretty well-balanced diet. Make sure you're getting in your leafy greens, fruits and veggies, whole grains. And so if you're someone who doesn't really get an adequate amount of nutrition, taking an excellent multivitamin definitely helps to supplement what you're not getting from the foods that you eat. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, definitely look into taking a multivitamin. Our bodies prioritize our vital organs first when it comes to the distribution of nutrients. Our bodies prioritize our vital organs to keep us alive. And like whatever is left gets sent over to things like hair, skin, and nails. If you're already not getting the right amount of nutrients, then your hair, skin, and nails are going to take a back seat. And then finally, if you're wanting to grow longer, healthier hair, the key here is the light is slowly going down. Hopefully you guys can still see me, but the key here is staying the course for long enough to see the results. A lot of times when we're wanting to achieve a certain goal, it's so easy to fall off. It's so easy to hop on something that's convenient or trending. The truth is, time is going to pass anyway. If you start doing all the right things and then you fall off, you already know what the outcome is going to be if you fall off. You already know that once you start seeing breakage, that you're going to have to cut. And you already know that once you start cutting, then there's going to be a moment where you're just like, man, I want to grow my hair out. Like, don't you want to surpass the plateau? Don't you want to actually see the results? Like, aren't you tired of the same things over and over? And so something has to give. And something has to change. You have to be willing to stay the course for long enough. And it's not a hard course either. Just stay the course for long enough in order to see these results. I know for me personally, and I have said this in another video, but for me, when I decided to embrace my own natural hair, it actually wasn't even about hair. My relaxed hair was fairly healthy. I decided to embrace my natural hair because it was more about just fully accepting the way God made me and deciding to show up on the planet the way He intended for me to show up on this planet. That was really the thing for me. It was definitely a God-led thing for me. And maybe that's the same for you too. I know that there are a lot of folks who go natural for reasons outside of hair. For a lot of us, it is more of a deeper reason. And if that's you, I encourage you to tap into that again. and to let that be at the forefront of your pursuit to healthier, longer hair. Hold on. I've noticed that folks are stuck in their ways. Something has to completely change within your mindset. Your mindset has to be like, I'm not falling off no matter what. Like, I'm going to do what's required. And there are so many different things for specific textures that we can deep dive on for sure. For example, there are things that coarse hair can get away with that fine hair just simply can't, and vice versa. This is just a few key things that you're definitely going to need to know in order to pretty much optimize how much length you retain. And that will definitely be shared in the videos to come. So if you're not already subscribed, again, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you are on a length retention journey, and if you're someone who's just wanting to break past the length plateau and just finally see results, highly recommend that you join my Ultimate Hair Growth Program. Enrollment is open right now. The next semester begins in January. You don't want to miss enrollment for January. We'll be starting fresh for the new year. Expect weekly lessons, weekly live Q&A, course community where we connect, have weekly challenges, and most importantly, where I hold you accountable so you start seeing results. So I'll leave a link to join the program in the description box below. I'm looking forward to seeing you in January so you can finally start seeing results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you're someone who is on a length journey and you're not playing any games this time around. Let me know where you are on your hair journey. How long have you been natural? What have you been experiencing along the way? And what you're wanting to see change the most? Again, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on the next video in this length retention hair growth journey series. Thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.